Hi and welcome to episode 7 of the Yarn Lovers podcast. I'm your host Lindsay. You can find me on Ravelry as Caliastra and everywhere else apart from Twitter, Facebook as Yarn Lovers. If you're joining us for the first time then welcome, and if you are returning then welcome back. I've been missing in action for the past 3 weeks. I think I recorded 3 weeks ago. It was the Easter holidays, so the children were off school. I didn't get a chance to record, and then my partner had flu for a week, so we've been a house of plague. So anyway, back now. I do have a lot of things to show you. First, straight on to finished objects, and I have very sad finished objects. I have lots of them. This I was working on last time. Yes, I was. This is the serrated scarf by Megan Williams, and it's the half hexagon version. Lovely pattern, very easy to follow, very straightforward, very well written, but I ran out of yarn. Pattern called for, I believe it was 400 yards, and I had 530, and I ran out halfway through the border, which is really irritating, and I'm not happy with it. I've not blocked it, I've not washed it or blocked it or woven the ends because I'm going to frog it and use the yarn for something else. I like the as I say, I like the pattern and I like the scarf or shawl itself. I don't like it in this particular yarn, which is Knit Picks Gloss Fingering in the Bordeaux colourway, and I liked the pattern because I like the edging, and I've not got the edging, so I'm just going to rip it out. So that's being frogged. I probably used the yarn for socks, which is what it was originally intended for. And the next thing I finished today, and I'm also going to rip this out. This is the Shalom. There we go. I'll show you the pattern if I should get a bit ready. There we go. Very quick knit, lovely pattern, easy to follow. A lot of people have knit it in lots of different styles and lots of different sizes, although this pattern only is for a 32, I think. Yes, 32-inch bust. There are enough people who have knit it and have made very good notes on how to modify it. It doesn't fit. It's too short, and as you can see from the top, but it's too short and it's too wide, and I've run out of yarn. It's way too big. I added stitches, I cast on more, and obviously I followed somebody else's directions, and I obviously cast on too many because it's just huge. But it only took me 2 days to knit. It is in Sirdar Click Chunky with wool, which is a bulky weight or a chunky weight. I think it's 70% acrylic and 30% wool. And that's I can't remember the colourway number, it is a number, but it's a Kingfisher blue. I'm really happy with the yarn. It's squishy. I'll follow the pattern this time instead of trying to make modifications, I think. So 2 finished objects being frogged. And I have a half-finished object, I suppose, which is this sock. It's not been washed because I've not finished the other one yet. Oops. This is the BFF pattern by KKA, and it's in Knit Straw and Peapod colourway. And it's cuff down and just a flap heel with a bit of, I can't remember what stitch it was actually. It may have been twisted ribbon, but I can't remember. It took me ages, I don't know why. I think it was the cabling. I've not cast the other one on yet. I decided that I should only have one pair of socks on the needles at a time, and I already have another pair on, so I'll start it once I finish these ones. Which leads me fairly swiftly into works in progress. If I can get everything untangled. Please excuse the rustling of everything in plastic bags this week. Sock, as you can tell. I'm using the afterthought heel pattern. So there's where the heel is supposed to go, and I'm probably got about that much to do before I start the toe. And I'm making the pair for this, so the heel and the toe are in a contrasting colour. There we go. The contrasting colour again is the Peapod rather than the Knit Straw, and the body of the sock is Straw Multi in the Meadow colourway. Looking at other people's finished objects or projects with this yarn, I've never seen it striped like that. It seems to be more variegated, or it's pulling, or and things. I've never seen it striped like that. I must have been just very lucky with my stitch count. It's 56 stitches. I have very small feet, as you can tell. That's pretty tiny. Right there. I think that's probably 6 inches long. Is that perhaps 6 inches long, maybe a wee bit longer, 7 inches long. I have a UK size 3 foot, so feet. So I should finish this today, actually, maybe tomorrow, the time I've done the heel. But I'll get the rest of the foot done today. There's the Peapod, and there's the Meadow. Right, what else? I have done a little bit on, sorry, I should have said those socks are being knit on on 2.5mm needles, which I think is a US 1.5. Oh, nice big tangly mess. I've shot this in a bag a few days ago and not touched it since. There we go. I've actually just got up to another colour change, so I'm now on 2 balls of yellow. If you remember, this is the Tunic Shawl by Knit Picks, and it's a kit that I got. I'm not going to name all the yarns because they're all different. This is alpaca and this is wool, but it's Knit Picks loose weight, and it uses 5-6 different kinds, and it's you hold 2 strands at the same time. So there's a colour change because you use 2 strands of one colour and then 1 strand of one and one of the next, and so on. And I've just got into yellow. I've just joined in the yellow. I think I did probably 8 more rows since the last time, but I can't remember. Hang on, I'm on row 96 of 163. So I'm getting there, I suppose. It's a nice pattern to knit. It's really easy. It's very good beginner leaves pattern, but it's a big shot. It takes a long time. I've got a lot of these at the moment. I did have more, but I'll tell you about that shortly. This is Trillion. I have not tightened my needles properly. This is Trillion, which is one of the Hitchhiker patterns. If you get the Hitchhiker trilogy, which is Hitchhiker's a trilogy of 4 patterns. This is one of those. This has been knit out of, it's not showing the colours up very well. This is Into the World. Children of Time. Which I saw this pattern and thought that was what I would do with this yarn. It suits it very well. It's really masculine, actually, the colours, which is a nice change. Very deep purple and a very muted teal, and a light brown and chocolate brown and a winey burgundy colour. And it's Doctor Who of the Club yarns, and it's the March Club yarn for Into the World, inspired by a Doctor Who picture. I've not got much of that done, although I did cast it on ages ago. I got distracted by other things. Okay, last but not least, I decided that I was going to do some colour work. I seem to have a hopefully a spare set of needles, otherwise I'm in terrible. Yeah, spare set of needles. There we go. Again, this is all crumpled up. It's amazing how things which are attached to something at each end can become so completely knotted. There we go. This is the Corey vest. Patterns in the next room, I should have brought it through. There we go. Nice colours. It's purpley pinks and greys, black. It's a Fair Isle V-neck vest, so it's a tank top, as I would call it. So there's steeking involved. Hurrah! I haven't done steeking for a long time, but it's not too much hassle now. You just use the sewing machine if it works. And I'd forgotten how long it takes to do Fair Isle. I did this solidly for a day. I think I started and I did the bibbing in one go, and then I did the other colour work in a day, but that was a lot of work, maybe 2 days actually. And these are 3.25mm needles. I'm not sure what size that is. Really 275? No, they're 3.25. And it's a fixed circular. It's a knit picks fixed circular and knit pro fixed circular. And I stopped doing it because I was really starting to hurt my fingers. I was bleeding from pushing the tips, because the stitches are tighter because it's 2 strands. You can see the stranding on the back. It's easier to see there. What on earth that is? Oh, the yarn was in bits in the ball. That's what it is. It's not where I tied it. It's tighter, so it's more difficult to knit, and I was hurting my fingers, so I had to stop. I stopped and I cast on the cardigan, the shawl. Excuse me a second, I think I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not going to sneeze. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. I'll sneeze suddenly and without any warning, so when my webcam will go, your webcam has detected a loud noise. I didn't bring all the yarn through for this. It's sorry, she said it's a knit picks pattern. I can't remember the designer name, but it's the Corey vest. And this is Knit Picks palette, and there are 7 colours, I think. 8 colours. There are 8 colours, because there's black and white as well. There's 3 purpley pinks, 3 greys, and white and black, so there are 8. I can count sometimes. Right, what else has been happening? I have been knitting on a test knit for one of the ladies that has dye for yarn, who are a pair of indie dyers. They actually also have a bricks and mortar shop. They're German. Their shop's near Nuremberg, I believe. It's been a bit of a saga. I should have started nearly a month ago. The yarn I wanted to use, which I showed last time, was too fine. It was fine lace weight, and it just wasn't working. I could not get the stitches correct. I couldn't get it to look right. It was far too open. The stitches flying off everywhere. It was impossible to knit, and it just looked terrible. So I ordered more yarn, and it didn't arrive. And it didn't arrive, and it didn't arrive, and I waited and waited and waited, and I didn't know what to do. And then randomly I got a club shipment of this. As it is. I don't know if you can see that. Come on, focus. This is sparkle lace. From Sheepy Time yarn, Sheepy Time knit. Sorry, I can't remember which it is. Just give me a second, I should find the card. Sparkle lace. 75% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 5% stellina. It's 100 grams, 875 yards. It's called Grape Stomp. This is one of the April colourways for the Special Snowflakes Club. Because that would show its sparkle. And it's also slightly more purple than that. It looks very grey and washed out under electric light. Anyway, I started knitting with this, and I knit 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 and I knit. It's a shawl, and it's a stone lace shawl, so the stitches are, of course they aren't difficult, it takes a long time, because every other stitch is a special stitch, so it's knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together into the same 3 stitches, or knit 3 through the back loop, yarn over, knit 3 through the back loop, or knit 1 through the back loop, yarn over, knit 1 through the back loop, so you're into the same stitch. So yeah, it takes a long time. And I'd gotten all the way down to the border. I started on the border and I got to row 5, and postman knocked on the door. It was my little one's 6th birthday, and he got a lot of packages from grandparents. And I sat my knitting down, and I went to answer the door, saying for a package, and I came back, it had fallen off nails. So I had a big hole in it, which, you know, I tried to fix and made worse. So I had to rip the whole lot out, and that was yesterday. I don't know whether I'm going to start it again. They wanted it by the end of the month, and it's now the 24th. And it had taken me 4 or 5 days, I think. I would say I'd probably put 30 hours into it. Which is a lot to put in again in the next 4 days, 5 days. I'm not sure. I like this yarn, it's quite pretty. I've never knit with sparkly yarn before. It's not exactly my colour, but you know, it's a club yarn, so fair enough. But it didn't suit the pattern, unfortunately, so I wasn't really in love with what I was producing. The pattern is stunning, it is absolutely beautiful, but it didn't suit that yarn didn't suit it. It needed to be a darker colour, I think. It's knitting up perfectly well. I was getting the stitches looked very good, and for the weight of yarn was spot on, and the needles were spot on, but wrong colour. Probably could have done with a bit more drape in it as well, a bit more drape to it, something about bit more silk or something. The original shawl was knit in 100% silk, I think, so it's probably where I'm getting that idea from. The yarn that I had ordered to do then actually turned up 2 days after it passed away. This is Oaks and Aspens, and it's Highland Handmade black cherry lace yarn. It is fine merino, and it's 1,100 yards, 100 grams. Again, it's not picking up properly. There's lots of oranges in there. It's red. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. My partner actually said, "Oh wow, knit it with that, knit it with that," when I took it out of the bag. Like, I'm just too late, already started. It also may be a bit too big, but yeah, that's gorgeous. I think I'm going to do an aeolian with that. I don't know if I'll have enough to do a large one. We'll see. think it calls for 1100 yards. I don't really like to start thinking dead on my mic because I'll run it. What else did I do? This arrived this morning. Yesterday. This is, I've not unravelled this yet, but let's do that. This is Into the World's April Club yarn. Okay, it's not picking up the colours brilliantly. I'll check the card in a second once I wind this back up. It's we've moved from, the club's moved from Doctor Who inspired to Firefly and Serenity inspired. So this yarn is called, or the colourway rather, it's called Serenity. And do I have the face? Into the World's April Club yarn, Serenity. It's obviously a fingering weight. It's 4-ply, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The name of the base is Pakoku, Pakokku. 460 yards. There we go again. I do like that she gives you the little tags, so you can write the information if you're giving a finished object to someone, or it's also got space for wraps per inch and things. She does a lot of fibre, she does more fibre than she does yarn. Of course, I'm not spinning. Having a bit of an issue with spinning, actually. I like the idea of spinning, and I like what the fibre looks like. If you watch podcasts, then you know what fibre looks like, because a lot of the podcasters are also spinners. And you see all these things and it's like yarn again, you're like, oh, pretty colours, and you're going, oh, it's squishy, and you want to buy it, even though I'm not a spinner. And I also like most of the yarn that people produce by spinning. I see people posting, obviously, on Ravelry, like in the Into the World forum, and you see what people produce, and they're so completely different things from the same but braid of fibre, or a bump of fibre, or whatever. And I often like the finished yarn, but I don't like what it knits up into. Yeah, generally, I see things knitted a lot of the time with hand spun, and I think, I don't like the thing. So I would like to at least learn to spin at some point, but I don't think I'd ever knit up the hand spun, which is a shame. So we'll see. Right, I took part in a swap, and I received my package. It was the Stitch Nerds April swap, which was Easter themed. I received my package a couple of weeks ago from a lovely lady called Spinthrift. I've never taken part in a swap before, although I've got one next week as well. And she sent me lots of lovely things. I shall take the best to last. I've got candles, which are very cute. And I got a little bag, which is already full of stuff. Well, it's very cute. This little notebook it's so handy. I've been using it all the time, and I would never thought of buying myself a notebook. It's just not something I would do, especially when that's small. But it's great. It's so handy. And I've actually raised the bottom. She sent me a whole load of beautiful sound. Little mother of pearl buttons, but they're vintage mother of pearl buttons, and they're all different. Some of them are stunning. Some of them, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. It's etched. Oh, very fuzzy. Yeah. And there's loads of them. And there's a little label that says vintage mother of pearl buttons. The bigger one there. I don't even know, it's not going to let me catch it. There we go. So I've got a load of those. And other things. Chocolate eggs. And plum bread, plum cake. Which was really nice. Speciality of Lincolnshire, apparently. And oh goodness, I'd forgotten. She sent me yarn that she'd dyed herself, and I've not brought it through, but I will show it next time. I think it's DK weight, and it's sort of blues and greens and yellows. The idea of the swap was to give someone yarn and also a free pattern, and it was the Shalom pattern that she sent me. She also sent me, I think it was Ishbel or Issy's modifications she'd printed out, which she had used. So she very thoughtfully did that as well. And the yarn that she sent was this. And it's still going to show up correctly because my webcam's terrible. I don't know if you can see that, but this is a I want to say colour change yarn, but that's not what I mean. It's a gradient. Or it's a very long repeat. And it's very washed out and blue looking, but it's actually purple. It's called Purple Swirl. And it says it's lace weight, but it's very heavy lace weight. If it is, it's more like a light fingering. Compared to this, which is a true lace weight. It's fairly thick, I think. Oh, perhaps not, it's about the same. Never mind, I was wrong. It's from a company called Chroma. Chroma Yarns. This is a UK indie dyer. It's a man called Jonathan Parks. And he has a shop which is chromayarns.bigcartel.com. This is, I believe, 20% mohair and 80% merino. There's mohair in it anyway. She had this specially commissioned for me. I think I said I like purple. It's beautiful. It smells of shed. The gentleman who dyes this, dyes things and dyes the yarn in his shed. This yarn is favoured by stitch nerds a lot. So you'll see it knit into a lot of her patterns. And it's very pretty, as I say, it's not showing up properly. I'm trying to choose a pattern for it at the moment, it's very squishy. It also comes in cake, or a ball, whatever you call it, cake. I don't have a ball winder. I have a yarn swift which my friend built for me, but I don't have a ball winder. So I wind by hand and end up with this. I've never had one of these before. There's probably the same amount of yarn in there. This is only 600 yards. 650 yards, something like that. There's actually a longer length of yarn in here. This is very, very tight. There's barely any give in that at all. And this is nice to squish. I must get a ball winder at some point. Oh, that's what I meant to say. With the Special Snowflakes Club, I also got this Special Snowflake project bag, which is really cool. It's good for holding things, obviously, because it's a bag. Very clever. Shove the things back in it. So anyway, enabled by the lady who sent me the swap package, which was just wonderful. As I say, never having taken part in a swap before, there's just so much in this box. Oh, there's more in here. Oh, there's other things. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. And my little one, as I say, 5-year-old, but he's 6 now. My little one was opening the box with me and helping me unwrap things, going, oh, there's things in the box. There's things. Look at this. Look at that. Anyway, inspired by the nice lady who sent me the swap package, checked out the shop. I got this. This is beautiful. How awesome is that? That's a very long colour transition right there. It goes from a very, very pale yellow to slightly darker pale yellow, and then into peach, and into orange, and into orangey brown and coffee colour, and I think there's 5 or 6 colours in it. It's stunning. It's not my normal colours, but I'm completely in love with this. This is amazing. This is again, it smells of shade. Shade. It smells of creosote or something. It's very pleasant. This is BFL in fingering weight, and there is 150 grams there. BFL, Lucas Lester, wool, sock weight, coffee and apricots, chroma metamorphosis, and I don't know how long it is. 600, I think it's 600 dead on. It did say on the site, but I thought the card would say it didn't. But yes, check out this shop. There's the cards there. Or check out the Ravelry group, Chroma Yarns or something. But he does a lot, and he will die to order or take suggestions or anything you like. He's really, really good. And if you're in the UK, of course, the postage is very cheap compared to ordering from elsewhere, especially the US, and obviously it's much, much quicker to ship. It's nice to order your yarn and get it 2 days later rather than ordering your yarn and getting it 3.5 weeks later, which is a bit of a pain sometimes. I didn't know what to do with it. Keep looking at patterns for this. As in, I will spend hours and hours looking at patterns for this. I've probably spent 4 hours so far. I'm just looking for something to do with it. I have not decided. It's an enjoyable process, though, looking for the correct pattern for the yarn. It needs to be the correct construction because of the colour changes. So there's no point in knitting one that goes, a shawl or something that goes all over the place, because it is just silly. I ideally want one which starts at the top and works its way out, or vice versa. I don't think it would work along the way, although it might, given the right pattern. Nothing with an implied edging, because that's just not going to work. And it needs to use as much of this yarn as possible, because if you use it up to the orange part, or just past the orange part there, what's the point? You know, you have to use the whole thing, or as close to the whole thing as to get all the effect of the colour changes. So I'm looking for something around the 600 yard mark. It's not terribly common. I've got a few ideas, so I'll come up with something. We'll see how this knits up. It's very squishy. I'm not used to this squishy ball of yarn thing. It's very, very squishy actually. Ooh. I don't understand how he dyes it like that. I can't work it out in my head. I've been thinking about it a lot and I can't work out the process. I understand how self-striping is done because I've seen someone doing it. But I don't understand those long colour runs and changes between colours, because the colours are, it's not just stop one colour and start another one, they're mixed in between. So I've no idea. It's very clever. And this is why we pay lots of money for these things. Although that was not expensive, because 150 grams is, you know, quite a lot. It was a special order that somebody hadn't. Somebody had ordered it and then didn't want it, so didn't pay for it. So I think that's it for this week's fairly long episode. As I say, I apologise for not being around, but we've had a few illnesses and, as I say, children being off school and things. So thank you very much for bearing with me. I should be back onto a regular schedule now, and hopefully I'll have some finished objects next week that I'm not going to end up trogging, or at least 2 large balls of yarn to work with. Thank you for staying to the end. I shall see you next week. Goodbye.